Yo, what's poppin', guys? How you doing? We are here for video number 5 of the Smogon OU Viability rankings. Your man's been busy. I'm so happy that I'm actually able to record for you guys because I wasn't sure, man. I honestly wasn't sure. But I did promise you that I would try to get a video every day, so I'm here. Congratulations, you're welcome. But yeah, I'm here with my man's Gary. Because he begs to be in these videos. He needs to build up his clout and everything. So
yeah, that's exactly what it is.
100%. That's how it's viewed. No, for real though. Gary, fantastic contributor.
I'm not in my car this time.
The man's not in his car. He's moving on up in the world. He's moving on up. Also, there should be no audio issues with Gary. If y'all say there's some audio issues, I'm throwing hands with every single one of y'all because I made check. Yeah, sure. I checked and it's Gucci and fine.
Bro, you said that last time the audio was still whack. I'm telling you.
No, that wasn't my fault. But this time it's clean. Anyway, so in this rankings update, and don't worry, there's gonna be another one. It's gonna be one coming soon. But in this current one that we're gonna be discussing, we had things like Deontay, Lele, Kieran B, Cartana, Victini, Rise. Deontay, we'll go over that first. Most definitely the best mega, in my opinion, the tier. The mon is disgusting with things such as Doug Shrill being banned now, which is honestly was like one of the best answers to it because you just trapped it and it was just removed from your side or being a threat. With that out the way, it's honestly a mon that revenges so many SD mons that try to make an attempt at sweeping. It's also able to check a lot of mons, and it's got a decent amount of bulk, so it can switch into some attacks and then pressure you out. And it's a fantastic teammate with its ability magic balance. If you can even play aggressive and catch like Lando when it tries to set up some rocks. There's different types of sets. There's like anti-lead, hidden power, ice Deontay. There's nature power like T-Bolt with Coco Deontay, along with the standard hidden power, fire or power. You got rock polish. It's different types. Yeah, every vid is your man's been busy. It's so true because every vid I am busy. But yeah, Deontay's been going crazy, and it's gonna cause the rise of things like Scissor, and maybe even see a rise in physically defensive Among Us, or even in fact like a special defensive type of Hippodon. We will see. Definitely, I feel like one thing that's mandatory on Deontay, at least some people have this opinion, and I kind of share it. It's like Earth Power because of Toxapex and everything, but like even then Toxapex from like only takes like 40% if it's special defensive, so it's kind of you're banking on like getting like a drop or a crit, etc. But anyway,
I mean, also Oko Tran, which is like pretty good, but
yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's Deontay. I have to agree, it's probably the best mega. Spoiler, it's probably dropping back to A in the next update, just because this update was like I think this update was like almost more than a week ago, and so we're recording this at the time that I am basically in the process of posting the next one. So whenever we end up doing the video for that, I'll have to explain why, because I know NJNP won't, because he doesn't want it to drop. But I can get why it's A+ at least. It's I still think, even though if it does go back to A and there's like Mawile Pincer, I still think it's like marginally better, at least, just because it's versatile. Offensive rocks is my personal favorite. I just think it's a really good rocker because you force out a lot of switches, and like if you run into like the occasional stall, obviously you get up versus Mega Stab, which is always nice. And like it's not like a bunch of things just defog on it for free, because like Mew obviously is going to be like, I'm pretty sure it's 2-KO by Moonblast. Usually it is. It's a roll probably, but and it, like obviously Latios can't switch into you, and fucking Scizor is I guess the only thing it has to really worry about. But like you can run HP Fire, of course, so like
that's no longer switching.
But that's no longer switching. Yeah, but like it just depends. I personally think HP Fire is best on like Stealth Rock, or HP Ice is good, I guess. But just because it leaves you like otherwise like Scizor comes in for free all the time, which is actually pretty dumb. So I think HP Fire is best with rocks. But Yeah, it's solid mon. It's annoying to deal with. 4 attacks is not used as much as it was, like at the beginning, but it's still really annoying because like otherwise Stilla is almost 100% like a really, not really reliable, but like pretty good switch in to Diancie. But even then, like it has to be an electric terrain and stuff like that, and like all Spadef are like full, or all hexes are full Spadef, which can be kind of annoying because I'm pretty sure like Earth Power just barely misses out. So yeah, it's still a good mon though. It's dumb. It pressures hazard setters as well in a way. So like you can't just blindly start throwing up spikes and shit or stealth rocks. So yeah, good mon.
So along with that, Lele Rose. Lele completely is able to go crazy versus stall now with Duckshot removed. You don't have to run things like Shut Shell. The only thing you really have to worry about if you're using a Lele is Muck, and if you play correctly and you're able to pressure Muck without letting your Lele get trapped, then you can go completely ham. Along with that, there's Specs Lele that is rising in usage back again. Scarf is still being pretty effective and pretty anti HO, which is has some pretty decent usage right now. And I mean that's all I really have to say about Lele.
Yeah, Lele is really like Lele is one of the big mons that like is always going up and down in viability. But like right now, Lele is easily at its best that it's been in a long time, because like Dugtrio leaves it completely open to like running so many different good moves, whereas like if you wanted it to have any sort of like relevance versus stall or Dugtrio, you had to run the worst item in the game, Shed Shell. But now Specs is just absolutely retarded. It's being seen on a lot of HOs like Gondra with his fucking was it like Gyarados, I don't know if that was Gondra's or fucking Kantos, I don't remember, but yeah, it's being used on a lot of common HOs just because like its switch-ins are basically like very, very small and thin, and like AV Magirna, for example, takes like 1,000,000 from Psyshock. And like hazards, if you pair it with like, I don't know, like dual spike Gren, it's really annoying to deal with because like Gear is just taking 1,000,000 on the switch. And stuff like Trannis too, Steela, obviously, most of them run more Fizz Def, so Psychic is really easy to spam. And personally, my favorite set is, I mean, I really like Specs, but personally, Calm Mind Psychium is really fun to use just because, A, Psychium can just be used without a boost and it just nukes shit. Like, you don't even...
Gary, you there? Gary, what the hell? Gary died. I don't know what happened to Gary. He was talking. The sentence just died. You're talking? It's not popping up on my. Hello, Gary, you there now? What the heck? My Discord is not picking up anything. Hold up, maybe it's me. Gary does. Yeah, that's weird. I don't know what the heck just happened. I mean, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna refresh my my Discord and try to reconnect with Gary. But anyway, let's see. We got thing. Yeah. Next on the. Gary, you there now?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, bro.
Wait, what the fuck?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Right,
Like,
good.
I was looking at my like chat window and it said that my voice is connected, and like every time I talked, I could see my little thing lighting up, so I knew my mic was working. But for some reason, when I looked at like the connection bar, it like wasn't highlighted, so it was like not detecting my voice, or it wasn't able to hear my voice or something. But yeah, where did I cut off exactly?
Well, well, where you cut off, you were talking about Lele. I don't remember exactly, but and then I know I saw a question pop up. I could owe you till McGearn gets banned, and that's a fair. I don't know why people don't think McGearn is not the second best mon. Like, it obviously is the second best.
I still think it is the second best mon personally. I know. Like, spoiler again. Like, ABR was talking about wanting to drop it, which it's going to be on the discussion slate for the well, not this update that I'm doing. Like what we're talking about. That's not on this discussion slate, but the next update that's coming out tomorrow is going to be on that discussion slate, and it's for McGearn dropping to A+. And I know a lot of people probably won't agree with that, but some of the council does. I know I don't agree with it for like as of now. I know you don't agree with it, and I know a few other people probably don't. It's probably like I'd say like 60-40, like 60% of the like disagree, 40% do. I don't know, but. I can see, like, personally, I just don't think McGearn is broken. Like, I know people were kind of saying it should be the next suspect, but like, I think that's totally plausible. But I still think it's too soon. I don't know. McGearn is like, I don't think it's been having as much success as it was like a month or two ago, despite it still being like ridiculously good, obviously. But
wait, I'm sorry, I just saw something crazy. Why the heck should McGearn have dropped to A? It should drop, most of it should never drop to A. Like, just because it's not sweeping you doesn't mean it's still disgusting. Like, it's not. I don't even feel like it's sweeping set's the best set. I feel like AV is the best set right now. It just switches into everything. It's able to, with the ridiculous power, to just kill things. Like, no.
The issue momentum, with McGearn is like it can run different combinations of moves, and each of its different combinations of moves have different checks and counters. I think the reason why it's like kind of considered not as big as a threat anymore, despite it still being a huge threat, is that a lot of balance is able to run like different combinations of these mons that can wall most of its sets. You know, like obviously if it runs like double dance floor focus, it's gonna struggle versus like Spadef Pex, and like if it runs bolt beam, it's gonna struggle versus like you know, like bolt beam struggles versus a lot right now in general, just because a lot of teams are prepared for it. And if it runs like shift gear 3 attacks, it's gonna obviously struggle to break through like just like even Pex in general, like Pex again, like it kind of just walls in a way, unless you run like Electrium, which is kind of weird on 3 attacks. But yeah, I agree. AV is easily the best like splashable set. Like you just kind of throw it on a bunch of teams. But yeah, it's still. Have you been running Ironhead on it?
No, I haven't touched Ironhead. I still prefer Flash Cannon, but I'm perfectly fine with Ironhead. Like, it makes sense. I respect it.
Yeah, like I was trying to think the other day because I think it was Vertex was asking me like, what is the actual reason to run it? And like I know it's to have better matchups versus Double Dance.
Yeah, Double Dance, and also I mean you're gonna end up flinching like regular Calm Michael Fable as well. So
you also do more to like AV gear, like opposing AV gears. Like it just chips it, I guess, more. Although you're probably gonna be volting on it anyway, but yeah, as like you said, I think it does. I don't think it 2-hit KOs Clef, but it might. I've only used it like once or twice. But yeah, I don't know if they heard me say that my favorite set is Psyche MZ Lele. Did you hear that part before I got cut out?
Yeah, no, it's like Psyche MZ Lele. Like I've seen Fairy MZ Lele. I mean, it's a pretty crazy amount.
You seen Farium Lele? I haven't seen that before.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen a lot of things on the ladder, and it doesn't mean it's great.
I know. I'm just trying to think like what. I mean, I guess Mew, but like I don't know. Yeah, I just like Psychium because it's like a stupid nuke. Like you like just Oko Zygarde, which is like really funny. And then like I was facing I think False the other day. He was using Modest because he was using that whack fucking Hoopa Lele team, but with max HP Hoopa and like Modest Lele. But like I switched in Magearna, he had +1, and then he just Psychiumed and my Magearna died from full, and I was really confused. at that moment. I mean, I was shift gear, but still, like, it's just. And I'm pretty sure if it was timid, it wouldn't kill, but that just goes to show you just how actually, like, you can kill a Magearna from, like, 70% at +1, like a shift gear Magearna. Like, that's really stupid. So dumb. But yeah, it's a really good balance breaker. It's really annoying for stall. And then, like, it's really nice on offense because you just click buttons, and if anytime it gets a free switch in versus, like, most teams, it's pretty much to a KOing or, like, just severely denting anything. So I just think it's one of the best, like, I don't know, one of the best button spamming moves or Pokemon.
One thing regarding Magearna, though, before we get to the next one, which is Kyurem, Magearna, people keep on trying to make Calm where Calm Mind is being prepped for too heavily. The most disgusting set, in my opinion, with Magearna is Z Flareon. Usually if you don't have a Toxic, and even then you can run, you know, T-Bolt coverage, and hopefully sometimes it gets paired, etc., etc. But, like, the Mon is disgusting in all types of ways. It's Z Flareon things just blows away too many Mons.
Zygarde's A+, Unicorn.
So Kyurem rose to A. It got carried by the meme of Life Orb Kyurem.
But the meme is right.
Yeah, the meme is right. That is definitely the best set. I've messed around with a lot of Kyurem sets. I feel like, honestly, the Z move set's the worst set.
Yeah, I remember, I think, like, whatever last update I was saying that, like, I still think it's decent, but, like, LOKB is, like, so fucking good. Yeah. Like, I do think that, hell, I even think, like, Z Fusion Bolt is better than Z Free Shock.
Yeah, for sure.
Just because, like, if you want to talk about a move that can actually take advantage of a lot of its, like,
Coco is definitely the best counter ever with Kyurem.
You mean partner?
Yeah, excuse me.
Yeah, like, Coco is, like honestly, if we were to rank Coco on, like, just its team support alone, it could easily be almost S, just because it is, like, I don't know, like, that Mon's low-key one of the best Mons in the tier. But,
yeah,
like,
I love. I remember when ABR said that a Mega Manectric could be better than Coco. That's no way in God's ever.
We don't talk about that.
That's no way in God's ever happened. But even then, I said crazy things like Mega Gallade is gonna be the better. It's gonna be the future. And
I wouldn't call Choice Band Zard. I wouldn't call Choice Band Zygarde useless. Oh wait, never mind. I thought you said Subcoil. No, Subcoil's not used at all. Actually,
Subcoil Glare is a cool set in my opinion. But the thing is, like, I feel like with Zygarde, the Dragium Z set's the best set in my opinion.
It switches back and forth for me for Sub DD and Dragonium. Like, Toxic Spikes are broken, and Sub DD is just like just takes on full advantage of that. Yeah. But I think,
but that's like the issue with Sub DD though. You have to have Toxic Spikes. Like, you can't. You can run Sub Dragium on, like, a lot of teams.
Yeah, Dragonium's just, like, it's more splashable. It is annoying to deal with because even if you know it's Dragonium, like, you have to play around it, and, like, it's really strong. I don't like. Yeah, Choice Band. It's still decent, but, like, it's like, it just has issues doing much in the current metagame, and then, like, I think Subcoil is pretty much complete garbage unless you're, like, the guy's just, like, running a really, really weak. Because, like, even if you're running Subcoil, you can probably still beat the same person with Sub DD. Because, like, I don't know. A lot of mons that lose to Subcoil also lose to Sub DD in a way. So, no, get out of here, LO. Now. Goodbye.
Let's see. Next is Kartana. Only Kartana says Tim Kartana. Don't forget that, kids. Honestly, I'm just messing around. I've actually messed around with more sets than Tim and Kartana lately. In fact, I went crazy. Got me a snake one with young Kartana is a threat. It's a mon that has impressed me recently. My favorite set though with Kartana is Defog SD. Not only do you keep hazards off on things such as Ferrothorn, but you're also able to pressure rockers and hazard stackers, and you're able to be a powerful nuke. It's not gonna. I don't really recommend Scarf. Scarf is a fine set. I just think its stabs don't make it the best Scarfer. Like, if it had U-turn, I would legitimately use Scarf. That's the thing.
That'd
I
be
would use
broken.
I would use a lot of things a lot more if it had U-turn. Because momentum is just so fantastic. But yeah, no,
for sure.
Cortana, you know, does it deserve the raise? Most definitely. As ashamed as I am to say it, yeah, it does. It does deserve the rise, and it's becoming even a more of a threatening mon. The thing is, you know, with Dugtrio again leaving, it also doesn't have to worry about getting either revenge for Ground MZ or even getting revenge for like Bengay sets like Scarf hitting power fire. Doesn't have to worry about sub reversal, you know. It's going crazy versus balances and stalls. Alright.
Yeah. Whoa, dude, you can't let me not have a fun.
No, I was just saying, I'm like, alright, I'm done. Like,
alright, so Scarf, I agree. I like another spoiler. I mean, if you guys just now know that like people who watch your videos just have you get that early sneak peek. But Cortana is most likely going up again to A, and the reason is actually not really its Scarf set, which is probably arguably still like A minus, but like. SD is like super like pretty much that mon like versus a lot of teams these days just it gets a kill for free. Like it sort of just like doesn't even need to set up sometimes. Like it also just blindly switches into Ferrothorn, which is really funny. Like any mon that can hard switch into every Ferrothorn set is actually the greatest mon of all time in my opinion, because it can't get knocked off because of Z moves. And like every time Ferrothorn comes in and like there isn't a fuck ton of hazards up, like Cortana literally gets a free switch in. And like if the guy wants to risk like switching in his like Scarfer and like or his Latios and like potentially like, you know, taking a Leaf Blade or something, you know, and then even then like, you know, shit like Zapdos, like I've seen there's two different SD sets. There's like the Phytinium, which is like probably the most common, and then there's a Darkium, which runs Night Slash, which lets you like I think Oko like Zapdos, Oko Venusaur after rocks, and I mean, which is pretty easy to get chip on Venusaur in all honesty. And then like obviously you still do a fuck ton to like Scizor, Celesteela, blah blah blah, but like Phytinium's still like the most consistent just because you can nuke Ferrothorn without having to set up, and then like you do more to Steela. And you can actually touch Tran, which, I mean, with Night Slash, it's not really doing much unless it's a +2, which can be kind of annoying. But, yeah, it's very, very, very fucking annoying. It's just a really strong breaker. And it's actually kind of annoying versus... it can be kind of annoying versus Stall, even, just because, like, shit like Skarm, obviously, is not going to appreciate taking, like, +2 Phytiniums and shit. And, like, if they already got that nice chip, then, like, it's going to die. So good mon, very good mon
for sure. Along with that Victini Rose, I think I was for. I don't think I was for this. If I was, no, I mean I may have been for this because it has become somewhat of a threat with its new set, which is like Z Celebrate. I mean honestly, its ranking is justified. C+. It's not amazing mon, but it is a mon that can go crazy if it gets the right matchup. I really don't have much to add. The thing that sucks about the Z Celebrate set, you're forced to run special on it. So I mean that's all I have to say about it. I honestly don't have much to add about this.
Yo, what the fuck do you mean if you prepare for Ferrothorn that you are prepared for Cortana? That does not make any sense at all.
They are. I mean, I understand the whole timing thing, but no, it's completely different roles. Like,
bro, like there's a mod
like,
that is
if
literally
you can, but like,
used.
You can prep for
It's-
Ferrothorn by just literally adding a Mega Sableye, but then with Cortana, it's
yeah,
different.
like Cortana is this massive breaker. Ferrothorn is this like semi-passive like hazard setter. Like that's like comparing apples to oranges, bro. Like, I know they got the same typing, but one is literally on the incomplete opposite side of the spectrum as the other ones. Yeah. So, yeah, as Victini, I think it's probably like, I think it could probably go B- just because like I think it's better than a lot of this shit in C+ personally.
That's fair.
I've used it quite a bit. I just laddered with it one day, and I thought it was gonna be like bad. but it was actually really like successful. There was so many times where I just found an opportunity to like set up because it's got like such good bulk after a boost, and like it sort of just shits on like some of those balanced teams that are like Pex, Sella Pex, Venusaur, like that shit just completely just gets raped by it. But like any sort of like Mega Latias build, obviously it will never ever beat Mega Latias teams. And then like I'm trying to think what else it's like kind of bad against. Well, I can't really set up versus offense usually because it's just offense doesn't really give it any free switch in.
Yeah.
Well, like you can get, you know, a free. You can set up on
benefit like you could like make a double instead of like let's say on AV Megara expecting that, and you can set up on that.
Yeah, and that's like one thing you can actually just low key set up on Megara now because like Farium obviously like you just get a boost and then like no Z move's going to kill you, and like it's just an annoying mon to deal with. I think that it's like really good late game. So yeah. I don't know. I think it's better than like I know a lot of the council probably doesn't like want to move it up just because a lot of people don't use it because it's kind of like a niche sweeper, but it's pretty successful from what I've done. It's just kind of team dependent, like what you run into, and it's not something you can just kind of throw onto a team. It's literally, all right, I'm gonna build with Victini. Yeah, and that's that's it.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, Dugtrio dropped because it got banned. God bless America. Volcarona dropped because the people around me are insane. This mon is broken. I do not know why they dropped it, but whatever.
Wait, what mon?
This mon is busted. This mon is busted. Needs to be banned.
Even in my like, I know you can't see it because it's like in the little hide tag, but like even in my reasonings, I say like it's probably gonna go back up to A+ at some point. Like
it should have never. This one's
the only reason I literally, you can call me a dictator. Literally, the only reason why I dropped it was because like normally I don't like dropping mons that are like the council's like 50-50 on, but like this was the first time. Volcarona's been brought up like 6,000 times, and it was the first time there was a super major or a simple majority. So I finally was like, all right, you know what? Let's just drop Volcarona to A because it seems like we have somewhat of a consensus here. And then if people start realizing, oh wait, none of these teams actually are prepped for Volcarona that people are using in these tours. Or on these fucking, some of these HOs and shit.
Nah. They're prepped for Volcarona. The fucking problem is that Volcarona is so busted. Look, I made a team. I prepped for Volcarona.
For Volcarona.
That's the thing. You're exactly right, and that's why I never should have dropped. And we'll rise it sooner or later when people get their heads together. Jesus.
It's just one of those times where either people don't play it right, they bring it in too early, or like, I mean, obviously you can just like a lot of the Scarfers, you can bring Volk in early and just spam Fire Blast and shit like that. Or like if you're Psychic and they obviously have a Scarf Keldeo, you can just use Psychic on the switch in, and then there's your Volcarona switch in, you know. And then like, I mean, I think a perfect example of a match that Volcarona could have literally tore a hole into someone's actual anal cavity would have been the fucking, was it the OLT match versus Vertex versus what's his face? I don't fuck, who was it? Yeah, and he could have set up on the could have set up on the Tapu Koko, but decided to bring in the Broken Thread instead. But it's fine. It's fine. It's all good. It's all good.
Okay, Garchomp dropped because that mon is utter garbage. It always has been, in my opinion. I only liked one set, which is Citrus Berry. I don't like the Z-move sets. They're overrated. You have to get a fantastic matchup to actually do work with it. You get very limited setup. No, I mean, I can't say you get very limited setup opportunities, but it is a decently bulky mon, so I can respect it in that. But I don't know. I actually like Rocky Helmet, Garchomp. I'm kind of bringing that set back. You're blowing away Lops when they try to fake out or click whatever move, and you're taking that hit. Another physical threat, so I like that.
I don't see too many fake out Lops. I see more of like it's like power up. I see a lot of power up punch encores and like
I got you.
I see Power Up on Ice Punch too, quite a bit.
Power Punch Encore is annoying, man. That is an annoying.
Yeah.
It's definitely not bad. I feel like it's pretty effective what it can do. It's frustrating to play for sure. Charizard Y dropped, and that's because things like Manton are just Jesus right now. Well, I wouldn't say Jesus, but just so prevalent. Toxapex is Jesus and very prevalent.
There you go.
And when you got Dugtrio leaving, so it's now even, you know, Toxapex is gonna be running, not Shetron, they're gonna be running what's the name? Black Sludge, so definitely not have to worry about your Solar Beams. Here's the thing, my opinion, I still may be running Shetron on some of my teams on Dugtrio because of how annoying Magma Storm Heatran can be. So I may be still rocking Shetron on some of my teams if I'm Heatran weak. And then you got Tyranitar Mega dropping, and we probably will see this mon keep on dropping as its effectiveness as a Mega, as a sweeper, has fallen off the map. It gets very limited setup opportunities lately, and it just doesn't seem like it's gonna pull its weight anymore. Especially considering the fact like one of its best setup opportunities was like on a Specs Dark Pulse from Magic Ninja, but now that they're switching to like watering him, it's even limited in that aspect of setting up. The best set, honestly, like right now I've seen it being effective is like it's setting up rocks, and honestly there's better rockers, so it dropping is perfectly fine.
Yeah, also like regular Tyranitar is also just really good right now. Again, spoilers, fucking regular T-Tar is going A next ranking, so our next update. And like they're different, like obviously one's a D tier, one's a breaker, but it's just the fact that you can run like banded Tyranitar and like another Mega. So like, or just there's so many Megas that are like pretty nice right now. Just like Diancie is really good. You know, Mega Pinsir's used on all the offenses. Mega Mawile is used on like some bulky offenses, some offense. I've seen Mega Medicham start to come back a little bit more, just because Stall is less prevalent, so less Mega Sableye. And then like obviously Mega Lopunny getting a lot more usage. Yeah. So it's just not a very good mon. Like it requires
even after your DD Megalop still outspeeding you and everything.
Yeah, like that's one of the main reasons why it was so good at the beginning, was because no one was using Megalop, and now people are using it, so that sort of directly affects it in a way. So.
Okay, next on the slate, Skarm dropping. Okay, Stall has been hit heavily, so Skarm will be hit heavily. A lot of people feel like, I know I talked to my manager and he's like, Skarm's on mon now that Stall's dropped. I don't have that same sentiment, but I do think it's less valuable and less viable now. So it going to B+ is fine, and there really isn't much to add to it. It's a wall. It's a fantastic wall. It's Chance, Skarm's been rocking for a minute. It was before that. It was Blissey and Skarm. So like, it's still gonna be a mon that you'll see a lot in, but it's B+, which is I feel like a fitting ranking for it now. And then you got Amoonguss dropping from B+ to B. Honestly, every single time I face this mon, it's annoying, but long-term wise, it's not really accomplishing much in the metagame. All it does is like potentially at least put one mon to sleep per game, and honestly that can be very effective in some games. But
yeah, and then others, like sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes it just gets too pressured and it's just nothing you can do.
I think MG Dragon brought up something like earlier in the chat that he thinks it should be like really low or C, but like Amoonguss is one of those things where it's like you don't really use it much because it sort of has competition from a lot of different combinations of mons, like Tangrowth, Toxapex, Mega Venusaur. It's
yeah,
sort
like
of
the thing, like sorry to interrupt, but like one of the things is like Ash Gren is able to set up like spikes like on like the predicted switch, and like the thing with Tangrowth at least, like you can at least punish a mon by like knocking off his leftovers or something.
It's like it's sort of like a bastardized version of like a bunch of different mons, but like then again, it's sort of like one of those mons where it fits perfectly on some teams, so like and it does its job like pretty well, and it absorbs toxic spikes, which is broken, so like in a way it's still like decent. And I think, you know, B or B-, I think it's pretty like it's pretty good, like it's pretty fair for it, just because like it's not really a bad Pokemon. It's just, it doesn't really have much of a niche. Like it's just kind of there.
I saw this set one guess that was like pretty cool, pretty stupid but pretty cool at the same time. It was a Starbreaker set. It was like growth, and it was like Giga slash. All I know is that I saw this set going going crazy versus chances, dude. It was synthesis, growth, Giga, and Sledge Bomb, and it was just beating stalls. It was insane.
What the fuck? Dude. How does that beat Skarm?
That's a fantastic question. I don't know, but all I saw, it kept winning. Oh, on that team it had Skarm on. Excuse me, it had Zone on it, so it trapped Skarm. So.
Oh well, I guess you gotta knock off the shell, but yeah, like.
This was last gen though, so like Shed wasn't 100%.
All right, yeah, moving on, or fuck that.
Yeah. Anyway, we got Veil. And the reason I call it Veil, I mean, of course it's got a name, it's Little Ninetales, but its only niche is Veil. So Veil just keeps on dropping off the map, and I don't see it returning anytime soon. One thing that could see, I guess, Veil pump it up, bump back up. Maybe a future Magirna ban, maybe even Deontay ban after that. But the thing is, those bans are not happening. They're not happening, but anytime soon, or any discussion of a ban suspect happening anytime soon. Gary, I'm pretty sure we can safely say that there's gonna be no suspect until Ultra Sun and Moon.
No, like I said, like the council is even like talking about dropping Magirna, which again, not 100% going to happen, but the fact that, and that doesn't automatically mean that it's not going to be suspected, but it sort of gives you the idea that okay, Magirna is not as bad as people are making it out to be. Considering that we never suspect something so soon after a suspect, and Magirna isn't even considered like a huge issue right now, I wouldn't expect anything to get suspected until Ultra Sun and Moon, because we all know that this is probably going to be just like Oras, where it's like, oh look, we got a perfectly balanced or somewhat balanced tier, so let's throw a bunch of broken shit like fucking Mega Metagross, Mega Sableye, and fucking Mega Salamence. You know, let's just throw all this shit at OU and just make it harder on ourselves. So it's probably going to be that. Just prepare yourself. Well, I'm sure we're going to get plenty of times to fucking ban shit in Ultra Sun and Moon.
Yeah, for sure. So the unranks were Kyurem. Why would you use Kyurem when you have Kyurem B? Dash. Next.
Yeah, Subroost, just so they know, Subroost was the reason why it was ranked in the first place, and it 100% needed Dugtrio support because it had to run. It's basically like the fucking Vincoon, except like a non-setup version. It was literally just a pressure stalling piece of shit. Now that Dugtrio is banned, it literally has no way of beating Toxapex. It literally gets completely walled by Heatran, and yeah, it's terrible. So unranked. Next.
Basically, and then the last mon was what is this thing called? Necrozma, thank you.
Yeah.
So the Ultra Beast has fallen. Honestly, this thing, it's so niche. It's so niche based.
It dropped literally the same reason for Kyurem.
Yeah.
Like all of the mons it needs trapped or it needs beaten, Dugtrio could trap. Like it could trap T-Tar. It could trap like other annoying dark types. You know, it could even like trap like
most of the things. Like in fact, most of the things that dropped are because of Dugtrio leaving the tier.
Yeah, for sure. Like Diancie, Lele, Kartana in a way, Kyurem Black, not really, but like definitely benefits. And then all the other drops like Gizardwy, Volcarona, kind of, not really. Kyurem, and then Necrozma.
Like this viability ranking update was I would consider it the Dugtrio update because like it really was based around that. But yeah, Necrozma, you know, even when it wasn't Dugtrio carrying it, it was Baton Pass carrying it. You know, it's always been dependent on something else to be effective. But you know, to be fair, it can be super effective with the right shit. Yeah, but that's everything, guys. Thank you guys for coming out. Thank you guys, people that have been watching the replay. Hope you guys drop a like, subscribe, etc. Gary, thank you so much for being here as always, my man. We've been trying to do this, guys, like since last week, but as I said, I've been busy. I told Gary like probably.
Yeah, next week, I had to move last week because I moved out of the terrible state of Louisiana. taken. I don't give a shit. It's a terrible state.
Mm-hmm.
I moved out of there. I'm back home in Ohio. So, yeah.
Dang, look at Gary, man. Not even he's not even he's basically giving that information so he doesn't worry about y'all dossing him. He's thinking miles ahead. All right.
Bro, these kids don't know how to. Yeah, I'm not even gonna say that.
Anyway, we out. Peace.
Peace.
Deuces.